Hi there, welcome. My name is Anli Vanusha. Now, our monthly musings, The Path with Heart, is inspired this month by a gathering of wise women that I've been coming together for the last 5 years bi-weekly to explore different types of topics. And last night we explored innate human nature. And I've been reminded of 3 different events that really impacted my own journey in this way. And 2 of them were quite paradoxical. Now, the first one, when I was an 18-month-old little girl, also impacted my whole journey on earth. Now, taking consideration that I've been born into a culture and country where oppression was happening in a huge way. And it is something that I never resonated with. I always had these questions about it. But as an 18-month-old girl, something happened that really set my whole journey on earth, put the path ahead of me. We were living in a small town, and my dad was at work, and it was a Saturday afternoon, and it was very hot, so our front door was open. Now, just to give you some context to understand what really happened. Now, those old houses, if you were standing in the front door, you could see through to the back door of the kitchen. So there was a long hallway with bedrooms on the sides and the lounge in the front. And this group of people came through the gate and started running through our house. And they were chasing a man with an axe in his head, so there was just blood all over the place. But they were not after us. They were not there to harm us at all. We don't know what that man did. He obviously did something bad or wrong, and they chased him. And he saw the door open, and he thought he could get away from them. Now, my mother very calmly took us into a bedroom and closed the door, now to keep us safe. Now, they were not after us at all. But this incident, as an 18-month-old girl, was imprinted on my whole being. This can't be it. This world, I don't want to be here. There must be something else possible. This can't be it. There must be something more. And that set my journey to explore other possibilities. And also, what's more about being human that we need to discover, which we share about in our monthly Substack, Emerging Intelligence. You can sign up for both these musings and the Substack, and the link is at the back of the video. But let's come back to that. Now, before I was 10, I experienced and witnessed 2 other very traumatic experiences where people were very cruel to each other. Not in my own family, I was witnessing it from the outside. And again, this can't be it. There must be something else possible here. Then fast forward to 1988. Now, we were living in a small city, and I had to go and see a client, and I went into the office on a Saturday afternoon. And our office was part of the shopping mall. And we could enter it from the back or through the mall. And I didn't want to go through the mall to get the file. I wasn't properly dressed. And I came in through the back. And as I opened the door, and I went up the stairs and I opened the door, I could see the reception area in front of me. And there were offices on each side of the walkway. And there was a man there. And a higher power in me took over. There was absolutely no fear. I walked calmly to the front and I started chatting to this man. And between me and him was this counter. And he could have jumped over any time to harm me or to do something to me, and he didn't. And I started talking to him as a human being to human being. And I asked him all kinds of questions about his family, his life, why he's doing this, because he was obviously there to steal stuff. And they were not something of any value there, mostly calculators. And because it's 1988, of course, in South Africa. And what seemed like eternity, it was apparently like 20 to 30 minutes, I spent that time with him just chatting to him as a human being. Never in fear, calm, relaxed. And he didn't do anything to me. He could have jumped over any time. And at some stage I said to him, look, I'm here to collect a file. I'm not going to tell anybody. There's the front door. You can go back the way you came in, because he broke through the front door. And I won't tell anybody. And I turned my back on him and I walked to my office calmly and I took my file, locked my office, and I went back down the back door, locked the back door and got into my car and went home. Now, obviously my ex-husband, he asked me, why were you there so long? What happened? Did you go shopping? I said, no, I just went to the office and I told him about it. But I didn't tell anybody else about it. And a few days later, during the next week, we saw on police file a local police program on television where they were looking for criminals, I saw his picture because I remember his face. He had many scars on his face. And I said to my ex-husband, that's him. And he was apparently a very dangerous person, armed robbery and the likes. And they were looking for him. But remember, I made this promise to him, I won't tell anybody. The next morning, my boss comes to me in the office. He says, there's somebody who would like to see you. It was the police. Now, they found his fingerprints all over the shopping center and some of the other places he broke into. And then they came to do some fingerprint stuff in our office as well. And it came out that I was there with him. But I didn't want to say anything. I refused to testify against him because I made him a promise. He didn't hurt me at all, so I wasn't in danger. What am I going to tell them? That he tried to hurt me? And then the prosecutor did something interesting. They summoned me to come and testify against him. And I'll never forget that day because they tried to influence me to say how bad this man is. And I couldn't because he didn't do anything wrong to me. And in that witness stand, when I looked at him, everything changed because suddenly I didn't keep my promise. And he looked at me and was like, he's saying to me, I'm going to kill you because you went back on your promise. And I'll never forget that day. And I just told the truth. He didn't do anything to me. And he was jailed for 10 years for stealing calculators, for heaven's sake. Nothing of value. And on the same day, a man who raped his own little girl, 3 years old, got 2 years. It just showed me the justice system is so screwed up. But besides that, what lesson did I learn that day? There's a Scandinavian proverb that I often shared with leaders when I was still coaching them. Look at the king or the queen inside somebody, and the king and the queen will come out. And that's what happened that day. Human to human. Innate human nature. Which also inspired a radio show I did in 2013 about sublime goodness, where I share more about in our monthly musings, The Path of Heart. So today, first of all, ladies, my lovely friends, my lovely wise women that I come together every second week, thank you for the inspiration of reminding us of the innate good nature, the sublime goodness within us. And when we take the chance to look for the good in someone, it will come out. And it works. I taught that to many leaders, especially in the business world, of when they have problems with their staff. Look for the king and the queen and they will come out. And it happens every single time. So don't give up on humanity. Please don't, regardless of what's going on around us. And if you want to subscribe to our monthly musings, The Path of the Heart, as well as our Substack, Emerging Intelligence, you're welcome. You'll see the links here at the back of the video. Looking forward to seeing you soon again. Goodbye.